Halloween is thought as a simple night of fun, treats and offers for our young children who are pure, but for many older teens and adults, it is a night of crime, violence, alcohol abuse, and unforeseen dangers for the public safety community. Encouraging the fun and the harmless pranks, but these must be tempered with safety, common sense, and caution. I will go through some safety tips for our officers on duty and the thousands of children and families who participate in this holiday event across the country. Officers working overnight shifts on Halloween, the danger is more than triple for public safety personnel. At work, stay safe and use extreme caution. Think before you react and be completely aware of your surroundings. Never chase vandals, candy thieves, or trespassers into unknown and darkened areas alone. Period. Do not chase them. Prankers already hyped up on the ideas of the freaky, mischievous and naughty night of fun may turn you trying to scare you off, causing injury or even death. Minor crimes are not worth the risk of losing life or limb. Juveniles on this night are more likely to be armed with knives, pepper spray or guns as they set out to cause neighborhood chaos and commit destructive and or assaultive acts in the name of fun. Many, if not all children, teens, and some adults will be addressed in some type of costume, wear makeup or mask, making it harder to clearly identify risks, danger, identities, and intents. Use maximum caution. Use maximum caution approaching anyone for any reason and keep your distance. Halloween have been used as a cover for increased robberies, burglaries, assaults, and rapes. And most people can easily move about in costume without being suspected of any wrongdoing or criminal intent. Look for adults who may be out of place early in the day, extremely made over and heavy makeup, and impossible to identify. This could be a guess for criminal activity. Communicate with co-workers. Secure your police dispatchers before addressing dangerous situations, entering areas where a crime could be in progress, a fight is in progress, or bodily harm has taken place. Halloween may be a night of fun, candy, and offer for children, but for public safety personnel, it is a night of greatly increased dangers and unknowns. All officers must be on a heightened alert regardless of assignment, physical location, or any other reasonable factors. There are some tips for kids, if children are listening to me. Here are some tips to help keep you safe on Halloween night. Some of these ideas are called common sense ideas that mean that there are things that you should know and use every day in life. You are never too young to learn. Never ever go into a stranger's house or even ring their door for treats unless your parents are with you and say that it's okay. There are some people in life that aren't very nice to kids and you have to be careful. Always make sure that your mom or dad is within sight when you go out trick or treating. Be careful when you cross a street. Make sure to look in both directions and make sure that there are no cars coming. If you have a little brother or sister with you, take their hand and help them get across the street too. If the street has a stoplight, wait until the crosswalk light tells you that it's okay to cross now, but still check before you cross. Look both ways. If you are an older kid or teen and going with friends, make sure that your parents know where you are going and who you are going with. This may seem like a pain, but they are your parents and they love you. They just want you to be safe. If you can drive and are taking a bunch of friends to a party, make sure that you have enough gas to get there. You don't want to run out of gas on a dark street all alone like a bad horror movie. If your parents give you a curfew, be home when they say. It builds trust between you and them, and they are doing it for your own safety. If you are going to be late, call them and let them know. Vandalism is never cool. Throwing eggs at cars and houses is not cool. Someone has to clean it up, and it could be you. If you get caught, you can also be arrested and punished as a juvenile. So don't think that it's fun only if you can get away with it. It's never the right thing to do. Think about how you would feel if someone did that to your house and how bad it would make you feel. The other thing I would like to talk is hurting animals is never acceptable. It's not an acceptable behavior. Some people use Halloween as an excuse to hurt cats, and that is just wrong. Not only it is illegal in most places to hurt or torture animal, but is also punishable by law. You should never hurt a helpless living thing. Have fun on Halloween, keep it safe, have some good, clean fun, and your parents will trust you for many Halloweens to come. Showing them how responsible you can be will give you a feeling of pride and make them see just how adult you really are. I have noticed over the years that parents of trick-or-treating kids can get so caught up in the fun themselves that they might forget some simple safety ideas that could keep everyone out of trouble. Having a fun and safe Halloween will make it all worthwhile. Kids love Halloween. They get to dress up and get free candy. What a perfect holiday! Parents love to give their kids some precious Halloween memories that they will have for life. If you take your kid to a sponsored event, like a safe Halloween thrown by your church or community center, make sure to keep an eye on them at all times. Even though it seems less dangerous, you are still in a strange environment full of people that you don't know. All it takes is a minute with your back turned to find your child is gone. Cell phones are everywhere now. Everyone seems to have one. They can be so affordable. Make sure that your child has a pre-programmed cell phone with them. If they go out on a Halloween night, make sure that all important numbers are already there and ready to use. Parents, keep your kids safe. As bad as it sounds, this is just a factor of life now. Get on the internet and check your local state website for sex offenders. Almost every state has one. Just do a search for your state sex offenders site. Look up your zip code and it should have a list of registered offenders in your area that includes street addresses. Make sure your kids stay away from those houses. Know the route your kid will be taking if you aren't going with them. Let them know that they are to check in with you every hour, by the phone or by stopping back at home. Make sure that they know not to deviate from the planned route so that you always know where they will be. Trick or treating isn't what it used to be. In most cities, it is safe to let kids walk the streets by themselves, but your best bet is to make sure that an adult is going with them. If you can't take them yourself, see if someone or some other parent or two can take them. Help your young child pick out or make a costume that will be safe. If they are wearing a mask of any kind, make sure that the eye holes are large enough for good vision. Know what other activities a child may be attending, such as parties, schools, or mall functions. If they are going to be at a friend's home, get the phone number and make sure that you have met the parents. Make sure that you set a time that your kids should be home by. Make sure that they know how important it is for them to be at home on time or to call immediately if something happens and they are going to be late or delayed. Kids will be kids. Explain to kids of all ages the difference between tricks and vandalism. Throwing eggs at a house may seem funny, but they need to know the other side of the coin as well. That cleanup and damages can ruin Halloween for everyone. If they are caught vandalizing, make them clean up the mess they have made. Some sick people find Halloween a great night to hurt cats. Explain your kid that animal cruelty of any kind is not acceptable. Kids may already know this one on their own, but stress the point that it's not acceptable behavior. Make sure that they know that harming animal is not only morally wrong, but punishable by law and will not be tolerated. Several young kids are filling meal before trick or treating, and they won't be as tempted to eat any candy before they bring it home for you to check. Make sure that if your child is carrying a prop such as butcher knife or a pitchfork, that the tips are smooth and flexible enough to not cause injury if fallen on. Make sure that costume won't get in the way while they are walking, which could cause them to trip. Teach your kids not to get into any strangers' cars or talking to strangers. No matter what the person says to them, explain them as simply as you can that some adults are bad and want to hurt children. That they should never go into a house that they don't know, get into a car or go anywhere with a stranger. Also tell what to do when this happens. Scream loud. Let them know to scream loud as they can to draw attention and to run away as fast as they can to some place safe. Make Halloween a fun, safe and happy time for your kids, and they will carry on the tradition that you taught them to their own families someday. Thank you.